I'm gonna show y'all my fancy makeup look, which when I do my fancy makeup, it's not very often because I call it my fancy makeup look because it's a little bit more coverage. Because usually what I do is my usually everyday makeup, I'm using this e.l.f. brand, and it's got this little tube here, and I like it because I can actually give myself an amount of makeup that I like. But since I got a nice kind of fancy place to go to, I'm going to fancy up my makeup a bit. So, oh no, sorry. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this here, and I'm going to start with my eyeshadow, because if you don't know, if you have like some fallout from eyeshadow, the eyeshadow can fall out like underneath your eye, and if you do your foundation first, it's fine. It's just when I do it eyeshadow first, I can wipe it off instead of me wiping my foundation off. And I put on sunscreen here earlier, I ate that sitting, and then I use this e.l.f. brand primer, and I actually like this. This is really good, if you like e.l.f., that is. So people who made the e.l.f. brand, I like your stuff. Just so y'all know, y'all get a good job. So this is the e.l.f. brand too. My color's in, I believe Fail Rose. It's called Fail Rose. I'm just gonna, you just get your color, and I'm gonna take it, dab it on my eye, kind of apply my eye. Like I said, I'm gonna give you like more. But with my eye makeup, I usually have more eyeshadow. But usually with my everyday makeup, when it's when I'm not fancying up my foundation, when I have like foundation on, when I got no place nice to go to, when I ain't going to like a fancy thing, then I won't fancy up my makeup. I'm usually in like quick. I'll do a video on that too, so y'all can see like my usually everyday makeup look. Now I already did my eyebrows off camera because, well, I feel like I'm not really good at my eyebrows. And this is the e.l.f. brand bronzer and stuff, so I'm gonna take, I think this is like a powder here, and I'm gonna dab it. And just so I can make my eyeshadow blend easier, I'm going to put that on my eye. And yeah, this is really good too, if you like e.l.f. But yeah, I'm gonna start off my eyes first, because if you're like me and you have eyeshadow that kind of like falls out, and I'm using this, I actually got this at Walmart in the Halloween section, and it's called the, I think it's called I call it the Vampire Contour, but I'm going to use this gray color here for my eyeshadow. This gray color here for my eyeshadow. And just so you know, I actually like vampire themed things. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So this type of thing, it's like a vampire contour, but I'm going to use this gray color here for like my eyeshadow. I'm going to clean off my blush a little bit. And yeah, and I like the vampire makeup. Like if you see like a movie called like the movie Vampire, like vampire movies, and I am looking in my mirror, by the way. So if you like see me looking up, I'm looking in my mirror. So that just gives me a direct area on how I'll actually want this to look. And I do knock some of the excess off. That does help too with the fallout too. I mean, that may not help as much, but it does help. So I'm going to darken it up, kind of wing it out into like a, I don't know how to say it. It just wing it out, I guess, a bit. And you're going to give like a different color in the crease too, but I'm going to go up all the way up to my crease. Because, well, that's how I want it. And yeah, this is how much I'm going to do. I can always add more, but I'm going to do my other eye. this is what I'm going to do. Same color, different light. So I'm going to go all the way up to my crease like I did. And like I said, I'm going to add more to it. So you can always yellow it. Like after you blend it out, you can always add more. So I'm going to kind of go like that, up to the crease. And leave my inner corner and inner eye right there alone, kind of sort of. So I can put like a little bit of shimmery right there, because you know vampires, they're shimmery. So, well, they're not shimmery, they're just sparkly, I think. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this clean blending brush and blend out any harsh lines I've got. And I'm going to blend out any harsh lines I have. And I am looking in my mail just so I can get a better take on what I need. So yeah. And it's not as harsh either. And I'm going to do maybe a little bit more on my leg. So I'm going to just tap it onto my leg. I'm just going to tap it onto my lid here. And yeah. There we go. And yeah. Oh, and I did forget to tell you, this is kind of like a vampire. If you ever seen like Twilight, it's basically the Rosalie from Twilight makeup look. Yeah, especially when she turns into a vampire and she's got that wedding dress on. I'm kind of recreating that look, but I'm using the products that I have. And I'm doing that makeup look that she had on when she Rosalie wore that wedding dress and that scene in her makeup, but I'm using the makeup that I have. So there was a tip for you. So I'm done with that for right now. I'm gonna find like a blue, not like a blue color, but let's see. Okay, this color will do. I'm gonna take this. This is, I got this from Dollar General. I mean, it's good. I like it. There's some colors and all that, but I'm gonna take like this shiny blue here. I'm not gonna use too much of it. I'm just gonna tap it onto my brush, and put it into my crease of my eye so I can have like a little blue, not like blue, but thingy, shimmery thing I have. There we go. Same color blue, crease of the other eye, like this. One more. And I'm going to go the under. There we go. Take the clean blending brush, blend it out a bit, and the crease out a little so it's not very harsh. So I am probably really not the best at doing this, but I'm trying. I just show you how I'm going to do it basically. I'm going to kind of clean this off a little bit so I can get, well, actually I'm going to use this end and take this light color, the lightest color here, and put it on my brow bone to highlight it a bit. Like that. Kind of lighten the brow bone up a bit. Blend that out a little. And yeah, now I'm going to go for the darkest color here. No, I'm not even going to say this name. This is a good brand of eyeshadow too, but I would like to try some e.l.f. brand eyeshadow. So I'll probably get that next time. So let me see. I'm gonna take a brush like this. You can do what I do. Use a makeup wipe to kind of clean it off a bit. And I do clean my brushes. I just wipe some of the eyeshadow off from the previous, because you don't, if you're doing certain type of makeup, you don't want to. Actually, no, I need a small bowl. Actually, something like this. You need small brush like this because you're going to go across your lash line with the darker eyeshadow. So you're going to take, see this very dark color here that looks like black? That's what I'm going to use. And I'm definitely going to look in my mirror for this. So I'm going to look in my mirror. Same color, just add more on. And I'm definitely going to thick it up. And I think I'm going to use eyeliner too. I just want to have a base to where I need it. Same color, same eye. Close to as the lash line you can. Start out small and I'm going to layer it up in a minute with the black eyeliner. And I'm going to go to the bottom and put some now too. And now my eyeshadow, like I said, is a little bit more than my foundation usually. But like I said, I got some place nice to go to. Usually when I have like a nice place, something nice to go to, I'll fancy up my foundation a little bit more. So yeah. So I believe my eyeshadow's done. I just need to do a little bit of eyeliner. 1 second. I think I have some liquid. No, this is my sister's. Oh, sorry. No. Well, this will probably make a good lip color for Vampire. Can you look? Okay, I'm gonna put this down here. Okay, I don't have a liquid eyeliner like I thought, but I do have this e.l.f. brand, and it's really good. I like it. So I'm going to look in my mirror when I do this too. So I'm going to just gently do this, and I'm going to kind of go back and forth with it. Yeah, that's pretty good. The same thing with the other eye. Gently just go back and forth with it until it kind of matches your other eye. Perfect. Long line. And yeah, woggle line. So I'm not talking, I'm focusing. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just going to take this and kind of smudge it out a little bit. And actually, I'm going to kind of take it out a little bit like that. Oh no. Let's see if I can keep skip here. There. There we go, that's better. Okay. Same thing with the other eye, just kind of wing it out and kind of. Okay, and fill it in a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to get my clean blending brush again and just kind of blend it out a little bit just to give it a more vampire-y look. Because it holds was, if you can tell, it was kind of thick, but yeah. So that's done. Now foundation. My fancy old foundation. Now, I don't do this type of foundation often because it does give me more coverage than what I would. It gives me a lot more coverage than I would like when I do everyday makeup. So yeah, I would say this is my fancy old makeup look. So yeah, I'm going to put a little bit here on my forehead. Actually, I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. That'll probably be easy. Yeah, what was in my. But like I said, this is more like my fancy old makeup look that I don't do every day because it does give me more coverage than what I would like to do. But when I got something like nice to go to, I'll rather I do up my makeup a little bit more when I got someplace nice to go to. But this type of makeup look doesn't. This type of foundation look doesn't happen very often. Like I'm not using this foundation very often. So, but like I said, I do fancy it for like a nice event or something. Like a fancy thing going on. That's why I call it my fancy old makeup look. Well, I call it my fancy old makeup look because I'm getting a little bit more coverage than I would before, usually with my everyday makeup. But like I said, with my everyday makeup look, I will show you. And I do have a little trick too that I have.